Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Lofttech Wi-Fi Smart LED Light Bulb. This is part of a low-cost, growing category of smart home products that isn't as expensive as Alexa certified or Google certified devices, but they're more proprietary and meant as entry-level options for people to first experience and test out what smart home appliances are like. And this introduces that at a relatively low price point. It uses Wi-Fi as opposed to Bluetooth, which I prefer because I think it's a stronger option. It connects to your home network, and then afterwards you can just use the app on your phone, and no matter where you are, you can control the lights, turning it on or off, as you would want. You can also change the color of the light. It can beam and strobe to music, so there's quite a few things that you can use it for. And since it uses LED technology, it's very energy efficient and also should last you for a quite long time. This is the packaging, very simple. One of the interesting things about this light bulb in particular is that its design. Now, most of the time this will probably be in its base, but you can see that the shape of the head is actually quite interesting. Part of that is to dissipate the heat a little bit more easily, but another part is just to make it seem, I think, interesting and different from what's already out there on the market. Some basic instruction manuals are located in the packaging, and also a QR code that you can scan to download the app on your phone. Works with both Android and iOS. How to connect multiple light bulbs at once. The light, which uses a standard E26, E27 plug, can be inserted onto any regular lamp or wall socket without problems. It's quite hefty as well. It's made out of this fusion between polycarbonate and aluminum material, so it feels like it should last. The top of the bulb is of course made out of plastic, which ensures that it doesn't crack in the case that you do drop it, or again, if you are handling it a little bit more roughly during transit. So it's actually a lot more rugged than your traditional glass light bulb. You can see there's quite a few ventilation grills to prevent it from overheating, and there is the company's logo embedded in the center there. But again, a very complicated design here that's almost reminiscent of some sci-fi films in terms of its shapes and its language. I think that definitely looks interesting, and it's a bit of a shame that this will probably be covered up by the lamp socket, but overall, definitely an interesting look. The actual light part will be emitted in a circular-like shape similar to a donut, and this creates a fairly even glow, which I'll show you in a moment, although there of course is a center part that doesn't quite have as much light. So if you beam this light from a distance, there's a center here that doesn't get quite as bright as the outside ring, but overall it works fairly. It turns out there's a reason why the light is in the shape of a donut. The center is actually a speaker grill on select models, which can blast out music in addition to being a Wi-Fi light. Setting up using the Stellar Wi-Fi app is also fairly simple. The first time that you use it, you have to go to the phone settings and turn on Wi-Fi, and then connect to the light bulb's Wi-Fi first. Afterwards, you open up the app, you tap on the plus key, add a device, and what happens is you then connect the light bulb into your home or your router's Wi-Fi by entering that password, and afterwards the light will be connected to your home network. So after that, basically, you can just use your app no matter where you are. Once you're connected to the internet, you can control this light. So as a quick demo of that, we can take a look at the interface here. It's pretty simple. We see that the light here is currently off. I can tap on the power key once to turn it on, and by default, it's set as 100%, which is the maximum brightness, and it has this fairly yellow tint to it, which is quite warm. It's a contradiction to the stereotype of most LED lights, which is a bit more white and cool, but this one actually works quite well if you are reading or working in an office environment. It gets extremely bright, so it fills up small rooms and spaces without any issues. So here in the main interface here, we have a quick tab that allows us to quickly toggle between some settings, such as adding groups. If I purchase multiple of these light bulbs, I can also tap on the light here to have some quick preset colors that I can tap through a bit more easily without accessing this main menu. Inside the main menu, I have some more adjustments for the specific color temperature of the light, and you can see that it reacts quite swiftly despite the fact that our router is actually quite far away. It's on a different level right now, but you can see that it still had no issues in terms of responding equally as fast as the Bluetooth light bulbs that I've tested, which are within much closer proximity to the phone itself. Here I can also change the brightness in this gradient view. You can see there from all the way down to all the way to the maximum setting, and it responds actually fairly quickly. And of course, I can turn the light on and off pretty easily as well. All right, so some other things that you can do is rename the light bulb. So right now we've actually renamed this one to Office, and tapping on the settings bar on the top here allows us to then connect to, let's say, a different router, change the software. If there's any updates, you can push updates automatically from the phone to the light bulb, which is pretty cool, and of course rename it for different purposes. On the side here, we have access to the music playing menu, which shows the light bulb as a speaker. That's the view of the donut here, and I'm able to then play back music, skip tracks, and it works fairly well as a mini speaker. It's a mono speaker though and not stereo, so sound is a little bit tinny, and it's not the loudest speaker in the world, but for some quick tunes, maybe in the office or just as a little speaker for watching some videos, it works decently. It's a little bit finicky though, so sometimes it doesn't detect all the music that you have in your phone, and that depends on the device that you use, but it's a nice feature that's optional. On the third bar, there's access to some preset modes for the light, so I can go through and select a random color, which changes the color as well as the brightness each time. There's also a party mode, which cycles through the various colors and strobes through them. There's a cool mode, which is just a kind of a cool temperature, warm, movie, romantic, twinkle, and gradient. So again, you have some of those preset options, and hopefully through software updates in the future, they're going to bring out even more of these, which will be easier for you to access without having to go through this color wheel if you want to select something for a specific purpose. So all in all, I have to say that the app itself is really well designed. Setting it up for the first time took just a few seconds to complete, and afterwards it worked as expected. I would say that even though it has this donut shape, even if you pop this onto a wall or onto a surface, you can see the light itself is still fairly even. I had no real complaints. It gets reasonably bright, and I think that even for work, of course for play, it works surprisingly well. It's a low-cost smart light bulb, but it combines many of the features that we want, including being a speaker and also being a very bright, energy-efficient LED into one low-cost option. Obviously, it isn't as fancy as more expensive Alexa-compatible light bulbs, but at the moment, I think if you're looking for a first-time intro to what smart home products can do, this is not a bad buy. You can learn more details in our official written review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS.